Kia ora, this program is brought to you by Wellington Access Radio. Wellington Access Radio, make your voice heard.
Welcome back to the Blackhouse on 106.1 FM. On Kyo.
Yes.
What have you been up to?
I've just been, the week's been pretty busy. But today there's an event on by Multicultural Council of Wellington. It's a Race Relation Days, and it's at Lower Hutt. It's happening right now.
Happening right now?
Yeah, right now.
All right, so you heard that. It's happening at Lower Hutt Town Hall, 32 Langs Road, Lower Hutt, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. today. If you haven't gone out there, get out there now for the Race Relations, what's it called?
Race Relations Day.
Race Relations Day. They only give them 2 hours
Yeah.
to settle all the race relations in New Zealand. Like, I think don't you think that should deserve a whole weekend?
I know, at least I was like 2 hours. Like, that's really short.
I know, it's really short. Like, by the time you get out there, you have to go home again. So much for race relations.
Yeah.
It's race... Bye-bye. Bye-bye relations.
Yeah.
But anyway, get out there. There might be some good food. I don't know what's out there. Just go out there and check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, today, our guests are... 2 young people you may have seen around Wellington streets with the loud hailers. They're bringing attention in the Wellington capital to the Tigray humanitarian crisis and genocide that's happening right now in Ethiopia. I'd like to welcome to the Blackhouse, Tirhas and her cousin Ashenafi. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Was that right? Oh,
Yeah,
good.
that is correct.
Thank God. I'm really bad for mispronouncing things because I've only got one fluent language, and that unfortunately is English. Anyway, how's everyone doing?
Everyone doing good, having a good afternoon.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Cool. Well, first of all, what I want you to do is, can you just introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your origin story, coming to New Zealand, and a little bit about what you're about. Go for it.
So my name is Ashenafi. I came to New Zealand in 2010. I was brought here by my uncle who fled persecution by the Derg regime that was there. So he went into Sudan and he came into New Zealand. So he basically brought us here in 2010, and since then I've been continuing my schooling life here, and that's pretty much it. I'm a university student right now.
Are you at Vic?
I'm at Victoria University, finishing off my triple degree.
Triple degree?
Yeah.
You're kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your triple degree in?
I'm doing political science, international relations, and anthropology.
I'm an anthropology student
Yes,
too. Yeah,
I love it.
you need to have anthropology there. You need to know where it all began.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
All the good stuff and the bad stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And what about you two, House?
My name is Tirhas, and also my story is the same as Ashenafi when it comes to coming to New Zealand. We came together.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm 26 years old.
Are you studying too?
No, I'm not studying actually.
What are you doing?
I didn't finish studying.
Yeah.
I dropped out because I was sick at one point.
Okay.
But I'm planning to go back hopefully the second semester.
Hey, that's all right. So what were you studying when you were there?
I kind of started to study nursing. Like I was doing the foundation course to get in.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking to start, hopefully studying pharmacy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's a lot of jobs for nurses out there at the moment. Well, I know definitely in Australia.
Yeah, there is.
There's a lot of work for nurses.
Yeah.
And the nurses have been doing quite a bit of striking lately, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. then they deserve better pay.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
So, okay, I want you guys just to assume that our listeners know absolutely nothing about what's going on in Ethiopia. And I want you to give us right now like a brief historical context, just a brief one, about what is between the different Ethiopian ethnic areas and how Eritrea is involved. And what's triggered this latest conflict that started in November, is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
November.
November.
Okay, so just give us a brief background about that.
Well, for most that aren't aware, Tigray is the northmost region of Ethiopia. It is landlocked between Eritrea, the Agawi, the Afar, and Amhara region of Ethiopia as well. It's also the 5th largest region of Ethiopia based on size and population size, and is roughly comparable to the size of Costa Rica.
Okay.
The region is geopolitically strategic in the Horn of Africa, particularly for trade. It's rich in minerals, gemstones, and potentially petroleum shells. We make up 97% of the total population of Tigray. The other 3% population is composed of Europe, Kuname, Afar, Agao, Oromo, and Amhara. So the first wave of the Wayana Revolution, translating to I am appalled by the representation of Tigrayans, began in the 40s under the rule of Amhara.
So this has happened before?
Yeah, this is a
Okay.
repeat. So it was led by Emperor Haile Selassie. Tigrayans were marginalized, discriminated against, and economically disempowered. This led to the first wave of the Wayana Revolution in 1943, which was crushed by a series of aerial bombings by the Ethiopian central government and British fire jets. In 1974, there was a popular revolution, which resulted in the rise of a Marxist military dictatorship.
Okay.
So
Marxist.
Marxist,
Yep.
correct. This sparked the second wave of the Wayana Revolution that gave birth to the TPLF, which is the Tigray People Liberation Front. For 17 years, they fought smart and resilient and ended the civil war in 1991, resulting in an independent Eritrea, a new government, which was the EPDRF, which is representing a federal state where every single region is self-determining in its own rights.
Yeah, I was watching a few things online. In particular, that video, they did the Zoom video.
Yeah, I think.
Remember the one I sent you?
Yeah.
And the guy explained it was like, you've got a president,
Yeah,
you've got a prime minister, but the president's like a figurehead.
exactly. Yeah.
And the prime minister has all the power.
Yeah.
But each area,
each region,
each region has its own government. Is that right?
it has its own government, which is determining on what they want to do and what's in their best interest. But the prime minister just basically comes in to just protect the whole country as a whole. So every region is self-determining and should be. And that's basically what Article 38 or 9 says in the Ethiopian Constitution.
Yeah,
So,
that's the document that runs your government now.
It is.
Right,
It basically is, but it doesn't exist. It's like it doesn't exist right now.
Oh.
So yeah, it's like even the government is not following those rules. It's like it doesn't exist.
Oh, so they've written the constitution, but they're not following the constitution
Not
that they've
at all.
written.
They
Yeah.
changed the constitution.
Why does that sound
They
familiar?
haven't changed it because the people haven't changed it. But yeah,
But
basically.
the prime minister himself.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's bring it back. So that's the history. Is there any more in the history you want to tell
Yeah.
us? Okay.
So the Tigray region was instrumental in bringing about democracy after the previous civil war in the 1980s, and has been a strong element in Ethiopian government until 2018, when when a new party was created, the Prosperity Party, which was led by Abiy Ahmed himself, and that second, the TPLF or employees of the TPLF all decided that they're not going to be a part of that party. So there was no representation within the government of the Prosperity Party. So that is why they carried out elections.
So sorry, say that again. There was no.
Representatives from the Tigray.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all those people, when Abiy created that Prosperity Party, they said we don't want to be a part of it. So they basically left that.
Yeah.
And after that, that's when they started arresting like high-ranking officers and generals, and that's when the propaganda against Tigrayans really started.
So what year? This was what year?
2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. And there was is that when the protests, Oromo people were protesting?
Yeah, that
and
was
the
when
cross.
it started. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when everything started.
Okay.
So they was just trying to consolidate power, and they were trying to the transition to a democracy or the transition from power. So they kind of just, he wasn't voted in. They kind of just gave him the power, and everything just continued from then on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So bring it to November. What happened in November?
In November. Oof.
What triggered this latest wave of things happening there?
So the thing that really triggered, well, the one that's reported on paper, is that the TPLF, they attacked like a command in the North Command. So that was like an EPDRF command post.
Yep.
So they attacked that post, and that's when they really said,
Alleged.
it was alleged,
Alleged
but
attack,
yeah.
yeah.
So that is the main reason why they said, we're going to implement this 72-hour ultimatum where you guys have to give up power or we'll come and take it from you.
Okay, so when you say alleged, do you mean that nobody's seen proof of it? What do you mean by alleged?
Well, that was their selling point to attack on the people of Tigray and the government of Tigray, and so they have to come up with a reason.
Okay. And did they have any evidence of that happening, or?
No.
There is evidence. I would say there is evidence. But the thing is, everything that was happening was in response to like a hidden agenda that was between Abiy Ahmed and Isaias Afwerki, which is the dictator of Eritrea.
Right, because
So-
there's another player now,
Yeah,
isn't
there's
there?
another player.
There's another player. Okay.
Always another player.
Yeah.
But yeah, those two parties, they've had bad relationship, different ideological beliefs in terms of how you should lead your people or what type of ideologies that you should carry on. So they've had like a bad blood for a long time. So they've kind of just been waiting for this war to happen.
Right.
So before the November 4th, there was reports that there was different people from like even Somalia. There was 3,000 troops that were put in buses and sent into Tigray to fight. Yeah.
Wow.
And this was on November 1st.
Okay.
So yeah, that was before the North Command had been attacked.
I see.
But yeah, so everything was in response to protect their self-determination because they were being rounded up, like not rounded up, but yeah, there was different people coming from different sides in order to take over that region.
So, okay, let me get a picture of this. So you've got an alleged or a happening where they've gone in and they've attacked something of value to the Ethiopian government.
Yeah, that's
and
correct.
but because there was already a bad blood, as you said, between Eritrea and Tigray,
Yeah.
the Ethiopian government sided with the Eritrean?
Oh no!
No,
they both made the plan to attack Tigray. That's the
Oh,
thing.
right, they made it together.
So yeah,
Okay.
Eritrea is on the north side, so they can attack from the north side. And Amhara Nation or the region of Amhara is under Tigray from the south. So like, they kind of have the whole country surrounded.
Right.
So that was what was happening,
And then on top of that, they shipped in people from Somalia, soldiers.
3,000 soldiers, which are all believed to have been killed as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Crikey.
Somalian actually did a protest against that because many mothers, they don't know where their children are. They didn't hear.
The sons that were in the army, or
Yeah,
right,
and
the
those
soldiers.
children, soldiers, they went for a scholarship to Eritrea to train.
Yeah.
That's where they did their training as well.
So they were tricked to go to Tigray, not for a war, but because of the Eritrean Prime Minister and the Somalian Prime Minister forced them to get involved.
But that wasn't why they originally went there.
No,
Yeah,
they
no.
went to Eritrea to do training camps and
Training,
all
yeah.
that. But when they went in there, they said, we're going to use you for our play. And they put them into the war. And basically that's what happened. And that's
Wow,
what's
this is
happening
so
with
complex.
yeah, that's what's
Yeah.
happening with Eritrean kids in Eritrea as well. Kids have just been taken out of their houses.
So when you say kids, what ages are you talking about?
Child soldiers.
So give me age range.
I would
As
say
long as young as 16.
I would say from 14 or above.
Upwards.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That is such a complex
It
set
is.
of. Is there anything else you want to add to that before I go to this song?
Before you go to the song. Oh. So when the military offensive against Tigray was launched on November 4th, Amhara regional forces, special forces, Amhara political elites and militia had been prepared for war for a long time. Among the ethnic Amhara political elite, it is seen as a war to regain territories claimed to loss in 1991. Being the second largest ethnic group in the country, the Amhara militia and special forces have been key players in the war campaign. Western and southern parts of Tigray are thus currently being incorporated under Amhara administration and control, despite protests from the interim regional government in Tigray.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna come back to the story in a minute because we've actually got a track here from a young man called Era, and it's called Day 112. Now, Era is Aaron Romero, or New Era. He's a young American recording artist born in Allentown, Pennsylvania, but raised in Orlando, Florida by a single mum. His mum was in a car accident and needed lots of support every day, so he was forced to live with his dad back in Pennsylvania. He was unhappy, so as a way to get his anger out, he started writing. And at the age of 16, Era, who's of Tigray heritage, started rapping. And you can find his music on Reverb Nation, Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. We'll put some links up to this track on our page if you're interested in following him. We'll put up his social medias as well. And this track, Day 112, was actually written on the 112th day of the current situation happening in Tigray. So here's Era.
Tired. I gotta shed some light to this situation. Back home, a current tragedy my people facing. We losing lives on a daily basis. I ain't Tigray, but I'm guilty by association. Your skin is my skin. We don't need a blood relation. Loyalty makes you fan. Plus, we all God's creation. They don't understand, so they kill us all. These ain't justified deaths. This is extermination. This is genocide outside. Bodies on the floor with their mouth wide. They ain't even see it when them shots fly. Women getting raped. They ain't even have a say. People fleeing to Sudan. They ain't even needing days, but surviving and striving is all they know. Can't believe this shit is happening all because of a vote power trip. See, Abi needs that peace prize for vote. How you get that in the first place? Politics is a joke. I do this for the fobs that's hopping fresh off the boat. And I do this shit for Oxum, giving my people hope. Every day is getting real for Tagaro people still. This is day 112, but we will prevail, nigga.
قالسنا حزير مريرنيو عاوتنا ناقدنيو تقراي تعود تقراي تسعر تقراي عاد تقالستي تقراي عاد تعودتي مندينا تقارو دق مندينا دق حتى سرة عين دلي فتحي معاز هجي تقراي تعود تقراي تسعر
Lord save me, just clicked on the video of a baby drinking dirty water. Swear this war shit getting crazy, could've been my daughter. Photographs haunt me lately, so we protest harder and never let our guard up, we martyrs. Far cry hellos, I can hear the echoes. This that red and yellow, case I didn't get the memo. Let's make a chain reaction. This is more than rapping, more like a call to action. Boy, we gon' rise to freedom. Only if y'all knew about the people grieving. Cause they loved ones knowing that they may never see them. Phones off, roads off, resources closed off, internet logged off. Politics is the reason, but we gon' die for what we believe in. So it's fuck the other side, we gon' defeat them. Everybody know Tigray is one hell of a region. Close your eyes as I pledge allegiance. TPLF, best believe we gon' step. Ain't gon' stop till we won, so keep feet on their necks. Ain't gon' stop till it's done, or we see some respect. Ain't gon' stop till they... Wait, moment of silence. Silence.
And that was Era with Day 112. So what else did you want to say about what we were just talking about just before the song break?
Well, I wanted to say the war didn't just start on November 4. It's been pre-planned, premeditated, and coordinated by the Eritrean Prime Minister, President, and Ethiopian unelected Prime Minister, by blocking budgets, tourism to Tigray, and hindered the fight against locust infestation.
Locust?
Yeah, we had
Right.
locust.
So we were already going through a famine before the war started.
Right, yeah. I've actually been in a bar in Africa when locusts flew over. Well, they could have been crickets.
Yeah.
But I don't know, but it's like the outdoor
One hell of a
bars and it's
creature.
crazy when it swarms.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've been eating the crops.
It's like nothing will survive after
No.
that. Yeah, no. So that's why there's like a famine unfolding right now, humanitarian crisis and all that.
Okay. Well, do you have anything else there?
Oh, no.
Okay, well, my next thing I wanted to ask, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, as it's known now, and Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali is also a Nobel Peace Prize winner in 2019 for ending the border war with Eritrea. Yet, on the ground, human rights abuses and a humanitarian crisis are happening under his watch. Can you relate to us some of the human rights abuses you are aware of, where they're happening, and who's reporting on it?
Well, this conflict in Ethiopia basically demonstrates the violation of every single human rights that is shown or seen in any other society. This includes all essential and basic human right needs and wants. Basic needs like water, food, electricity, banking, communications, and internet services all have been wiped out or shut down for the past 6 months. The violation of human rights in Tigray is also presented by a war tactics of weaponized rape, weaponized starvation, and the destruction of every vital infrastructure needed to maintain and develop the region and people of Tigray. The collective punishment of our existence and sense of self-determination shows like ample evidence to confirm cases of rampant rape, sexual violence occurring in Tigray at the hands of invading forces. On January 9, 2021, an Ethiopian journal went on state TV saying rape was expected to occur in conditions of conflict. Justifying this weaponized tactic of war, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed also appeared on national television saying, "For them, it's their women who are raped, but for us, it's our soldiers who were assaulted by bayonets, daggers."
Say that again.
He said, "For them, it's their women who are raped, but for us, it's our soldiers who were assaulted by bayonet, daggers." So he's trying to justify what's happening to the women, you know,
Right.
the weaponized rape,
Yeah.
by saying, "Oh, they attacked the North Command once and they killed off some people or whatever," you know.
Yeah.
So
So his logic is where the soldiers that are there are raping the woman because the soldiers from the Tigray region were attacking his soldiers.
yeah, basically,
So like that would be like me picking on a child for an argument I have with an adult.
exactly,
Exactly.
that's what's happening.
Right.
So
okay.
he's trying to say the experience of 10,000 women who are raped is significant to soldiers getting attacked because the soldiers, innocent people aren't supposed to be attacked. They aren't supposed to be raped.
No.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he misses the logics.
Yeah, so isn't there a law or there's rules of war, correct?
Yeah, there are rules of war.
And rape is not supposed to be
Rape is not supposed to be.
one of them. I mean,
No.
isn't it the soldiers are supposed to fight other soldiers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it actually directly violates Resolution 1325 of
Right.
the UN Security Council, which was adopted in 2000 to protect women and girls from gender-based violence. So, in that particular order, this war tactic violates the rules of war and so many other just lives,
Yeah.
like essential lives.
Yeah.
And innocent people just die for no reason. But they don't just die; they experience the crucial pains of extermination before they die.
Yeah.
So, it's,
Yeah. Yep, you can carry on and tell us. Well, media organisations, who's reporting on all of this?
well, Helen Clark suggested that there was evidence presented which speaks on a pattern of widespread and systematic sexual violence perpetrated by men in uniform. She said this conflict has left and resulted in an estimate of 10,000 Tigrayan girls and women survivors of sexual gender-based violence. UN official Mark Lockcock also concluded that the realities of Tigrayan women and girls with a guaranteed of hypothesis that there is no doubt that sexual violence is being used in this conflict as a weapon of war, as a means to humiliate, terrorize, and traumatize an entire population today and into the next generation. So this was according to video testimonies given in Sudan's refugee camps and obtained by CNN. Survivors of rape explained how men in uniform informed their victims that they were being raped in order to cleanse their bloodline and to change their identity in order to Amharize them, or Amharize. So the idea of Ethiopian identity.
So it's a type of colonialism, isn't it?
It is. That's exactly what it is.
You know.
It's hate on
Yeah, because I mean,
emotion.
in New Zealand they wanted to Europeanize Māori.
Yeah.
In other countries they wanted to, you know, the Queen wanted to bring Europe. What is it? Britain. So that you know, the sun never set on the British Empire.
No.
Right? So same sort of
it's the
thinking.
same.
In Ethiopia, they want to
thing.
Amharanized everybody.
So, like,
That's
for
the
most people
logic.
that don't understand, like, this war comes from, like, two stems of ideologies that's a part of Ethiopian identity. One is the federal state, which everyone is self-determining, and the other is a unitary state, which means one person in the middle trying to control everything. So this is basically the reason why Abiy Ahmed and his soldiers are in Tigray. This is the only reason why he's there, to compensate power.
And those are like two complete opposing viewpoints.
They are.
Though.
They are. That's the thing.
And how would anybody expect the two opposing philosophies to survive in one country?
That's exactly the thing. He's not expecting no one to survive. He's expecting to wipe out the ideology of
Right.
a federal
Okay.
state.
Well, I know that there's been more than just reports on rape. You said something else about the destruction of identity and cultural, historical, and religious sites are being reported of by reputable media outlets that they're being destroyed.
Yeah.
So Tigray is also a centre, you told me the other day, of it used to be called Aksum, is that right? And you've got a lot of historical sites there.
Most people say it's the cradle of humanity.
Of humanity, right?
Yeah, people say that. So, like, I visited Ethiopia just a year ago before COVID-19 hit. And I drove around just traveling the whole region. And everywhere I could go, I saw, is that UNESCO? Is that
UNESCO, yeah.
Heritage sites, World Heritage sites. Everywhere I would go, it's in every single post, that's where it is. So
and is that the point when, is Tigray the place where Christianity was brought to Africa?
Yeah.
And also Islam as well?
Islam as well, yeah.
Yeah, both were brought to the same place. So is there a strong strategical port there or something? Like
what do you
for
mean?
the Middle East? Like was that a place that the Middle East
there was when the Aksumite kingdom and all that existed before Eritrea gained independence. So Ethiopia didn't exist during that time. It was just Tigray and Eritrea, and they would use the ports of Eritrea. And that was that was a big space that they had. So Eritrea was a part of Ethiopia. And the new lands of Addis Ababa, Oromia, those lands were never a part of Ethiopia until Amhara went into Addis Ababa, the land of Oromo, and took them during the Menelik dynasty.
All right. Okay, well, we're going to go to the next song now. Before we come back, we'll come back to the other stuff after this. We got a new track here called Goat Problems. It's Masbo Q and Reza Biza, a collaboration between Rwandan Kiwi Reza Biza and Nigerian Kiwi Masbo Q. And basically, these two kings of hip-hop and rap in New Zealand, this track has brought everything, slick production, punchlines to the pound, and a super styly music video. Goat Problems may just be the goat tier. Here's Goat Problems. It's my...
No dramas, we don't need a beef with no toddlers. We say moving like bro scholars, everything top tier, no garbage. No talkers, just execute and don't promise. If you ain't with it now, then don't call us. We gon' be dealing with goat problems. Goat problems, goat problems, goat problems. We gon' be dealing with goat problems. Goat problems, goat problems. If you ain't with it now, then don't call us. We gon' be dealing with goat problems. For starters, we lead, we're largest. knowledge received, imparted. We're farmers, we seed, we harvest, we breathe, we're targets, we grieve, our martyrs. Better put pause on your plans. Yeah, I'm that confident. 120 keys on the body, about 100 locks on the head. I started out for love, now I'm doing this for bread. And I put on for my cities, Lagos, aka Birkenhead. I'm that one in every 100 years, and I'm only bound a third the way. My legacy would take the reins if my spirit left the earth today. I put hours in, I worked away. Homie, I climbed the ranks, I earned my way. So many times I've been turned away, but it's all come to what you've heard today. So I'm clean, I'm calmer, Louis and Prada, I sheen, I'm Stardust, decreed and charted. Don't bother, just tweets, no parlor, experience, no comma, that's period, no comma. No dramas, we don't need a beef with no toddlers. We say moving like road scholars, everything top tier, no garbage. No talkers, just execute and don't promise. If you ain't with it now, then don't call us. We gon' be dealing with go problems, go problems, go problems, yeah. Go problems, we gon' be dealing with go problems, go problems, yeah. Go problems. If you ain't with it now, then don't call us. We gon' be dealing with go problems.
I wrote this rap on the central side, it was me and the homie Maz. You know me and the Brody style by now, on a beat I can only spaz. I love this music, but I won't leave my crib till you show me cash. I came a long way from that hallway on my mom, I ain't going back. Why reason don't come round no more? I don't really see the sun round no more. Just a couple more years in the game, we gon' have it all shut down for sure. I'm still up in my hoodie, what's up? But I got a little pride up for mom. All the people that doubted me then, all the mother more. It's done, done. Ay, Pro Club T, black jeans on, I don't know these imposters. Took my boys up the corners, dealing with go-level problems. So no offers, or send them now if you want us. Cause we ain't taking no offers once we sitting down in that office. No deals, just partners. I'm clean, regardless. We scheme, we harvest. Don't need no sponsors. My team, the sharpest. My dreams, my conscience. Louis and Prada, I sheen, I'm Stardust.
No dramas, we don't need a beef with no toddlers. We say moving like road scholars, everything top tier, no garbage. No talkers, just execute and don't promise. If you ain't with it now, then don't call us. We gon' be dealing with go problems, go problems, go problems, go problems. We gon' be dealing with go problems, go problems, go problems. If you ain't with it now, then don't call us. We gon' be dealing with go problems.
That was Masbo Q and Reese the Beezer with goat problems. Hey, we got some more stuff about this Tigray situation. It sounds absolutely horrific. Often when there's destabilisation in any African region, there's often an outside force with vested interests in the destabilisation. I'd like to know, even if it's, like they might be interested in access to resources, lands or geopolitical positioning. Have any foreign entities been flagged, suspected or named as being involved in this conflict, and who benefits from a destabilised Tigray region?
Obviously, Eritrea is the main foreign entity in Tigray. They are heavily involved in this war. If not for their involvement, Tigray will not be where it is right now, which is full of a humanitarian crisis because they massacre and they loot every single business, public or private sectors and public infrastructures such as factories and that. So I would say that President Isaias, a dictator of Eritrea, has a lot to gain of being a key holder in the Horn of Africa. Would have destabilized Tigray.
And the war between Tigray and Eritrea, how long did that go on for?
Are we talking about currently?
No, the one before.
It started in 1998 and finished in 2000.
2000, yeah.
Yeah, in 2000,
right.
yeah.
So, there's still bit of bad blood between the two countries.
It's very much to deal with bad blood. It's only based on bad blood. So the people are just innocent people paying the price of political elites or, ideas that they don't agree with.
Yeah.
Most of the atrocity being reported by media outlets and eyewitnesses were caused by Eritrean soldiers. Crimes committed such as gang rapes, looting, and private and public properties, deliberate burning of farms, and so on. 98% of Tigray is agricultural based.
Okay.
So after a locust invasion, there comes Eritrean soldiers burning and looting all farmlands.
So people are just going to starve if they can't, if the locusts are eating stuff.
Yeah, I heard a report that says right now there are from 50 to 100 people die every day because of starvation. The Economist.
The Economist.
From 50 to 100 people die every day because of dire starvation and no food. And there is food when aid is given. The food is given to the Ethiopian government, so that's the bad thing. The Amhara militias or the Ethiopian government, they give it to different people, so they don't directly give it to the people in need.
Okay.
And even money that's given by the World Bank or Western countries that's given to Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and his government, that goes to just fund the government. That's the issue that we have to show down here. Everything goes to fund this government, this genocide campaign.
So the money that's supposed to be the aid money, that's supposed to go to the people who need it, isn't getting there. It's going to the people who are creating.
Yeah.
Right.
So
because we have to talk also about one of their tactic is using starvation as a weapon.
Yeah.
And that has been known to happen in 1974 during that time.
So they've done it before. Is that what you're saying?
Everything is just it's happening game. That's why all our voices, if you hear the international community of Tigray people in Melbourne, America, Canada, London as well. Oh yeah, I already said that. But yeah, lots of people have been speaking out. They've been trying to speak for the voiceless because the voiceless have no voice because there is a telecommunication
Now
blackout.
I read that. Yeah. So the media was locked out, correct?
It's still locked out,
They're
but
still
some
locked
parts
out?
of no, it's not locked out. Majority of Tigray. So if people are let in, they're only let in into the capital city of Mekelle.
Right.
And that's where the Ethiopian forces are at right now.
And I watched a video about how the Ethiopian government was jailing the fixers and the translation people.
Yeah.
So when the media comes in, they have a hard time getting the information from the people. So they're putting up roadblocks.
Exactly. That's
He
what's
actually
happening.
banned the routers and many reporters not to enter to Ethiopia.
But somehow they're finding people to actually.
They usually find it from refugees that have arrived into Sudan.
Right. Okay.
Like you can't really do anything. The Sudan government is in war with the Ethiopian government because of land right now. So that's the issue.
So they're having two wars
at
the same time.
With Sudan,
This war is gonna destabilize the East African region for so good. There's gonna be threats of just terrorist groups that I know there is right now in Somalia.
Right. Yeah.
That's going to get bigger because Abiy is just focusing way too much manpower in Tigray, just trying to end us. And we are such a small population. Our people are nothing. It's like the Ethiopian government itself is more than us.
Right.
So I don't know why you need to use drones by the UAE. And at the same time, the UAE is one of the only countries that has donated the most. So they kind of have like a hidden agenda. They gave the most money to the refugees in Sudan, but they also gave the tools for aerial bombardment to happen which happened from Eritrea. Everything was based.
So they're playing both sides.
They're playing both sides.
Yeah.
So it's just this is not only a destabilized Tigray. This is a destabilized Ethiopia, a destabilized East Africa, and it could go further. We never know. But the white man will not step into this war.
Why is that? Do you think?
Because Africa, they did it in the Middle East, and look that's taking them. Yeah.
They're not gonna.
They didn't do it. They did nothing to mitigate the issues that happened in Rwanda. It's exactly repeating itself. They said never again, but now they're condemning. And the UN, it looks like a news report. It looks like a news agency. It's just reporting stuff.
Reporting on what's happening, but not stepping in.
No, if you can't do anything to mitigate the occurring situations or the massacres, why does your whole body or institution exist?
Exactly.
I don't really understand. If you're a news agency, act like it, but You have a lot of countries that are part of you and signed up with treaties and that. And I know they can put a lot of money to give it to the right people, the people in need, the people the money's not getting into because everyone is displaced. There's a lot of people displaced. There's 4.5 million people dying of hunger. They're in urgent need of food. There's 2.2 million people that are internally displaced. There's 70,000 plus refugees that have gone to Sudan. And there's also from 70 to 150,000 that have already been reported dead.
Yeah, and a lot of those ones turning up in Sudan are children by themselves.
Children, fatherless, like a lot of people, they've lost their families forever. Me, I don't know what I've lost because I don't know. I've yet to know. So when people ask me, are you all right or that, I'm like, I don't know, man. I actually don't know because I don't know what to think. All I know is I'm stuck in the dark.
And you only talk to your mom for...
Yeah, I've talked to my mom 2 times this year since everything's begun. One time she went into the capital city and worked. I asked, are you all right? They said, we are all right. But I don't know if I'm supposed to believe that because someone's listening to them on the phone. So like, it's very contradictory. I can't trust my own instincts. I can't trust what people are saying to me. Like, it's just very hard. I'm a university student in Wellington, man. I'm just trying to enjoy my education. I got no time for mental trauma. This stuff is going to be passed down to our people.
Yeah, that's the next question I was going to come to, is that you've got the community that's here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And what kind of support have you gotten in Wellington, especially for things because I can see how exasperating the situation is to you and the way you're expressing yourself, which I think, of course it is. You know, you don't know what's happening to your mother. You don't know what's happening to other people in your family. And what kind of supports are in place, what isn't in place, what should be in place, do you think? That would be helpful to you, even if it was... I don't know, counselling services, connection. What do you think? We were able to do lots of things during COVID. How come they can't handle this one?
You want to go on that?
Oh, okay.
What would you like?
I would like to, actually first, I would like to see the news cover what's happening in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
That's always the first step, because if the people don't know how we're supposed to spread awareness.
Right, so the media, New Zealand media,
New Zealand media, everything.
Take an interest.
News Hub, it's owned by the government. So what are we going to do?
How many interviews have you heard people having on the media in New Zealand about the situation in Tigray?
None.
No, I
Is this the only one?
No. Interview?
Yeah.
Interview?
Yeah.
This is the only one.
You haven't? There hasn't been any others?
No, I have not heard a single interview. This is my first interview speaking about this. I've gone to protests. But no one turns up besides our community. And maybe there's a low amount from different communities, but there'll be one from this, one from this, one this. It's...
What about other NGOs actually taking an interest? And I thought of some things like Amnesty International, Red Cross, Human Rights Commission, or other organisations that are here. I don't know what the government would do, but I mean other organisations that look at these sort of situations around the world. What have they done to reach out to people in your community to actually?
Actually, we have nobody has reached.
No one has reached out.
It is really disappointing for us to see the war in Tigray is not widely covered by the media in New Zealand. We have held over 7 rallies across New Zealand, and we have only had a couple of them been covered on Stuff and the Dominion Post.
Okay.
And those coverages were very bad. The information was very bad. Nothing was accurate. People trying to downplay the severity of this issue. I really wanted to contact those people that wrote those articles, because those articles is not right. Trying to downplay the people's struggle right now, that's definitely not right.
It seems contradictory to the stuff that's coming out now.
Yeah.
How long ago was those? Were those reports done when the blackout was really absolute, or were they just recent ones?
Recent one when we held the protest.
Yeah.
Both of them are actually in Wellington.
Yeah.
But all over the world, Al Jazeera, CNN,
there's a lot
most
of people.
Australian
there's a lot of
outlets have been reporting it, but we want to see it in TV1, TV3, we, the New Zealand community Tagaru, we feel neglected by our own government.
Yeah,
We
I
feel
was
that-
actually I was actually looking at the news yesterday, thinking, are they going to say anything about the situation in Tigray? And I haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen anything too.
The only person that's been
I don't even
speaking
watch
up
news.
is Helen Clark. She's been condemning it almost every day. She
Every
even wrote
day.
an article on it. But, you know, she's just doing that on her own,
She's
not
just one
as
lady.
a New Zealand.
Well, maybe that is something that your group of people should be working on, is making people in the government aware, you know, organisations and things like that. And we can definitely help by putting up all the links that you've got, so people can find that information really easily on our Facebook page and on our Instagram, on Kio's Instagram. Is that right? You'll be able to get some information up on Instagram.
Yep, of course.
What about support for people that are here? Besides that, I'm just thinking mental health wise, you know, like I think that if it was, if it was my son and he was stuck in a country that all these things were happening, I would be at my wit's end.
Yeah.
Trying to find out how he is, if he's okay, and then not being able to contact him. Communications. Is there something that you think that New Zealand could do to improve the communications between that region, or maybe even put pressure on the government of Ethiopia to open up those communications?
Well, I don't really think that New Zealand has a connection with New Zealand on a major level, but I know that they know countries who are very good friends with them. They have friendships and economic ties or political ties, a lot of things. If New Zealand was serious about this, they would be pressuring those people. Hey, they have soft power. You can apply your soft power and say, yo, this is not the right thing happening. We're trying to move into a better developed world, and this is happening at this moment. 21st century. How you going to let a genocide, a campaign genocide happen, ethnic cleansing happen, starvation? You're just going to watch it happen like you did 27 years ago.
Destruction of cultural heritage and
Religion.
culture.
They're trying to destroy, exterminate everything we believe in, everything we are. There's nothing wrong with that.
Now, I've been hearing something that apparently was said by some soldiers.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite an extreme statement to make, that for some of these soldiers that are going into Tigray, they are looking at it like a complete annihilation of your people.
Exactly.
By saying statements like, we will end your bloodline.
Exactly.
And when I heard that just put a chill in, because, you know, it was that's exactly what the Nazis did.
It is.
That was with the Jews, you know what I mean?
Abiy in Ethiopia right now he's the Ethiopian Nazi leader. That's what he is. That's what I'm going to compare him to. That happened in Germany. This is exactly happening, and he may not have all the people collected and everything, but he's trying to do it without doing that. So exterminating the people in any means, very Nazi-like.
Wow.
Very Nazi-like. And like, I know they stepped into Germany just because they want to, just because it's a white country. There's no other reason why they stepped into there. It was gonna ruin the whole European, but they don't care about Africa. That's it. They don't care about Africa. They don't care about black people fighting against each other. They don't care about black people killing each other or black people killing innocent people.
Right.
I seen so much awareness when that Black Lives Matter was happening. Oh my, I was like, oh my God, I didn't know there was so many good people in this world until I seen that. And later on, everything happens and
it goes quiet.
I have not seen people post a single thing about Tigray or whatever. I post on my socials every day. I know if I posted a Black Lives Matter thing, you would see it on my story and you would post just because, it's a trend, my G. It's a trend.
Yeah.
But this right here is just, it's like if it's on black, we don't care what happens. But if it's white on, the only reason why they posted that is just to say we're not racist.
I think I get the point that you're trying to make. I think when it comes to a situation that's about black people in America, because there's an alliance between America, England, and all that, we pay more attention than we do to black people in Africa fighting amongst themselves.
Exactly.
We tend to media and that tends to just dismiss it or briefly acknowledge it. But the reality is that the majority of black people in New Zealand are from Africa.
They are. There's
And
nowhere else.
so they're also New Zealand citizens.
I'm a New Zealand citizen.
Yeah.
I've been living here for 11 years. I love this country, but I love back home too.
Yeah,
It's so sad.
I'm a New Zealand, so I've been here for 54 years.
Yeah.
I was here waiting on the beach going, when are the rest of these other Africans going to turn up? So, I think, what else do you want to say about it?
We want the New Zealand government to act. We want them to hear us. We want them to recognize the suffering of the Tigrayan community in New Zealand.
Yeah.
We are feeling neglected, and we want to see them talk about the genocide that's happening in Tigray was an hour on TV, like TV3, TV1.
So you want fair reporting, people the
reporting.
media to take an interest.
Yeah, and we would like the organization to investigate the human rights abuse that our people are facing.
Which organisation in particular? Do you have any?
I want the
idea?
UN.
The UN. And we want New Zealand to pressure to their allies to be.
Because the gentleman here with the 3 degrees and one of them being political relations, is it?
Political science.
With the soft influence and the hard influence. I mean, you've got the language.
Yeah.
That's what you're learning, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I mean, the probably those are some of the things that you could be thinking about enacting as young activists that you are.
Yeah.
Which is, and knowing that you can do it. I still want you to, we've got a few minutes before we have to wind up for the day.
Yeah.
But I definitely, what's the story with, I definitely want to get something from you about the communication, whether it's digital, WhatsApp, phone calls, what is happening? How do you actually contact family back in Tigray?
So I use a calling website. It's called Reptile. And
Right.
It's probably the cheapest app you can use if you want to call back home.
Right.
All the way back to Africa.
It's called Reptile.
Rept, R-E-B-T-E-L. Reptile.
Oh, Reptile. Okay,
Reptile, yeah. So when communications turn on in Tigray, they only turn on in the Mekelle, in the capital city. Just to make it seem like, we've opened up things for all the people so that they don't be receiving criticism from the Western world or whatever,
So they've literally cut off the internet and things like that to the rest of the
shut
country.
off. Internet is completely shut off.
There's no internet,
at
no
all.
such thing.
Yeah.
No such thing as water. There's no such thing as food. There's no such thing as banks.
Electricity.
They have literally stoned you guys back to the Stone Age.
Yeah.
We literally are living in the Stone Ages. For people living there now, if you saw a picture, you would think that you're living in the Stone Ages, yeah.
Yeah. So Reptile is getting through to Mekelle
It's
at
getting
the
through to
moment.
Mekelle.
Okay.
I mean, any website that you can use to call, it's like on a normal
Yeah,
phone.
it's
You're not
like-
going to use
Is it
call
all-
them through the internet, but if you top up,
Yeah.
you can
Calling
contact
card.
them if we're lucky, if the phone service is working.
Right.
Even
okay.
if the phone service is working, what they do is they'll make sure they take down the electricity so they won't be able to charge their phones,
Yeah.
and you won't be able to talk to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are they doing this, like, is it sort of a rotation thing? Like when I was in Tanzania, you'd have power for half the day and then the other half of the day the power would go. Are they sort of rotating the
Nah.
times that they turn things on and off?
No,
No, they're not?
I was recently back in Ethiopia. They would do the same thing. They would turn it on like till 6 p.m. and
Yeah.
they would turn it off from 6 p.m. to the next day.
Right.
They would do those things. But now, as they only turn it on whenever they feel like it, whenever there's too much pressure on them. So we'll open it up whenever there's that little things like that. That's the only reason why they open it. They want to make it seem like there's a fair representation of the people, but there is none.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got
Can we just
okay, yeah, sure.
We want the New Zealand community to engage and cool participant in their work to be taken to the international community. Oh, I think I've already said this actually.
Take it to the international community.
Attend our rallies and come and support us. In this case, I want to invite you guys to...
We're having a protest in Auckland on the 25th.
25th of when?
25th of May.
Yeah.
We'd really like to see people support and condemn this genocide that's happening, and we would like our rallies to be heard and the voice of the voiceless to be heard. I've seen lots of people turn out for Black Lives Matter, so this is Black Lives Matter. This is Tigray Lives Matter, so show up.
So it's all about all Black Lives Matter, yeah?
It's all Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And if you guys to come attend, please contact us.
Okay, so we're going to have to put that up on our page too so people know where it is. So anybody who's listening out there, they're going to be having a big protest
on the 25th?
25th of May. Whereabouts is that going to be?
Oh, Auckland.
It's in Auckland. We don't have the address.
You don't have an address yet.
Sorry.
But it's going to be Central City. It's just going to be us protesting. It's just going to be having a rally. So you'll be able to find us in the middle of the city, wherever you are.
Do you guys have a Facebook page or
an Instagram
page? Tell us your Instagram hook link, please.
United Tigray NZ.
United Tigray NZ is their Instagram page, and that's where you're going to be putting all the information.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to thank you to. Oh, is there one more thing?
And also visit. Can you?
You guys, for anyone that's concerned and wants to raise awareness, you guys can visit omna.org, which is a campaign to spread awareness, and tweets you can apply for people to be heard. We also have Stand with Tigray. That's its own organizations, and you can apply donations and try to help and give life-saving equipment and food for the people that are basically dying of starvation in Tigray, Ethiopia.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming in, Tirhas and
Ashenafi.
Yes. I'll get it right one of these days.
Thank you for inviting us.
You're more than welcome, and we'll probably have you back maybe in a month or so just to give us an update on what's going on.
Yes,
also, all the links, we'll get all the links, and you'll find the links at the Blackhouse 106.1 FM on Facebook and the Blackhouse New Zealand on Instagram. Thanks to our social media superstar.
Thank you so much.
We'll put that up and raise awareness. I think this is like something we need to keep discussing, and I really appreciate being on here today.
That's all right.
It's really good to learn.
I appreciate you having me here.
Oh, so.
So we're going to get shut down in a minute because we all end the thing. I just want to give a quick shout out to Zoe Moon and her band Fun Money, who are going to be down at the Rogan Vagabond tonight, 9 o'clock, $10 to get in. If you want a night of body jamming, hip slamming, booty shaking your money making fun, link is on our Facebook page right now. And we are out. Thanks for joining the Blackhouse, and we'll see everybody next week. Is there anything else? Because I've got exactly 24 seconds. Guys, anything else?
No, that's it.
Thank
you so much for inviting us and giving us
You're welcome. Were you going to say something, Ash?
Appreciate to everyone listening, and we'll appreciate if you could do your best. You can. Okay. I'm out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This was nice.
That program was brought to you by Wellington Access Radio. Get your voice heard.
Thanks New Zealand On Air for funding accessmedia.nz.